Hello, this is a quick and easy way to test fuses, especially on those new cars. They are very hard to get them out, and most of the cars now they have so many fuses installed on them, and sometimes they have them like sunk inside the fuse box. I don't want to take fuse by fuse out to look at it, to look at the through the glass and check if it's burned or not. I have a way I do it. I am gonna share it with you. This car I have a couple shorts. I can see here there is one open wiring here, and there is a crushed wire harness. I'm gonna fix. Okay, so before I do anything, I just want to make sure the fuses are in good shape, so I could test those wires while I'm doing this. There are three or two different ways to do it. I use a high impedance test light like this one. It has one connector goes to the ground, which is this one here. Make sure you have it directly to the battery or a very good ground. And then I go to the fuse. High impedance because this is computer safe. Allows only very low current to go through it. You don't want a test light like this. I have a different one like this one. You can see have a regular light bulb in it. This test light allow very high current to go through it. So if you connect this to the ground here, you could see how bright the light is. Let me just make sure I get this thing. You could see how bright that light is. This is a very high current pass through. So this is when you're testing fuses, you might allow a high current to go to the computer and burn transistor or burn anything. This is the low impedance. You could see how low it is. Here it is. This is very low current going through it. Sometimes the reflection of the camera doesn't show it. Let me try to have a different angle. But you can see it's a little light bulb or a LED light, whatever it's in there. But this allows very small amount of current to go through it, so it doesn't burn the computer. This is for safety measurement. You can use a voltmeter like this one, which both wiring coming with it. One goes to the positive and the other goes to the negative, and then you can test. You can see here when you go to the positive, it gives you the voltage. I don't know if you can see it. It's very hard with the reflection here. Maybe this is a 12 volt, and then you go to the negative, also gives you negative 0 volt. Okay, you can use this. Also, you can use the regular voltmeter like everyone have. Just this is 2 leads. I'm gonna test the fuse with all of them to show you how I'm gonna do this. These are all the different fuses on the car. This is the fuses that belong to this car. So let's get to work. Okay, first thing you need to do, let me remove this. This is low impedance light. I'm just taking that away. I don't want to test with this for now. I use it for all the cars. So the first thing you do, you make sure the ignition switch is on. Okay. So we need to go one by one, fuse by fuse. If this is under the steering column or in the passenger compartment, usually it's harder to reach them. But this is the easiest way to reach them with a test light. If this is not sharp enough, you can use, let me show you something. Because sometimes this point here, it's not sharp enough. It doesn't go inside the fuse. Inside this to touch the metal part. See here, that's what I want to touch. Touch here and you touch the other side. Sometimes it doesn't go through. It touch only the plastic. So I use a needle like this, and this is very much it reaches any fuse on the planet. Okay. And one last thing I want to say also before I go to testing. Those fuses here, the big ones, there is a glass. You can see through the glass if the element is burned, and you could tell if not. Or you could pull it out and then test it with an ohm meter if you can't see it. But usually you could see them with a flashlight. You could see through. Also, this fuse here. This is a fuse carrier. There are elements you can see them inside here through the glass. You could see if there is one of them are burned, and usually you have to replace the whole thing here, this whole back, if one of them it's burned. So here we go. The conditioning switch is on. One end on the ground here, and let's go test these light. I'm assuming these all spare fuses here. Let's get to this one here. Both have to turn on. Let me test. Okay. Either both have to they have to turn the light on, or none. If none, still the fuse can be good. So these could be here. Here is one. You could see I put it here. Blinks, blinks. So this fuse is good. Let's get to these. Good. This is fuse good. This is fuse good. This is fuse good. There's no power here. Okay, so now this is 100% burn. I'm gonna get back to it. See, there is power here. There's none here. Zero. This has power on both sides. This has power on both sides. Same thing here, I think. Yeah. Let's go back here again. The middle. Good. Good. This is good. There is no power here. No power on both sides doesn't mean the fuse is bad, because there is maybe no order to load this circuit. This maybe could be a light, or could be something has to be on for the power to come on this fuse. So there's no bar coming to it. So both of them not turning on, so no problem. Here, good, good, good. No power here, power here. See this fuse also, 10 amps, burned. There's power on one, no power on the other side. Let's finish these. Okay. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit to get the height. Okay, so again, there's power here, power here, power, 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 power. This is just with a simple test light. I'm doing this very quick, so I don't want to go crazy. So here, so all these on. So again, 1, 2, 3. I think this is the one was bad. I think this one, yeah. So this is not turning on one side, turning on the other side, and I think there's one back here, not this. I think this one. So the last one here, number 3 in here. Let's do it with a voltmeter so you can see both world. So here, on this one, power, 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 power. See, here is no power. We have power here. Power, 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 and so on. You could go on. Let's go to the bad one here. So you give me 1.4 volt. That means there is this is on the ground side, or on the switch side, or whatever. I mean, on one side that is it major. There's some resistance there, but that's very much it's open. And let's check the other side. Here's a 12 volt. Okay. And now it give me 0. No, 1.4. Okay. So that doesn't mean anything. That means this one is open. All right. So these all good. Okay. Let me bring the other voltmeter. Okay, let's test with this. Let's set it on a 20 volt DC. Alright, okay, here's 20 volt DC. Let's put this one back here. I'm gonna put this on the ground side. And let's make sure we get 12 volt on the battery before we do a testing. Going on a battery. Okay, we have battery voltage. And as you can see here, I'm gonna test these fuses again. See, there's battery voltage. And so on. Same fuse has to both do the same thing. Okay, see this one? 0. That's the bad one. On this side, it's giving me over 12 volt. Okay, so go back to the bad one here again. 0 or 1.5 volt. And it's giving me 12 volt on the other one. So that very much I did it with all of them. Okay, I'm gonna bolt these fuses so you can see what I'm talking about. So we have this fuse puller here. It was, I think, number 3 here from the top. Okay. Let me bring up the lights. I don't know if you can see it, but this fuse is burned. Trying to, you see that opening on the top? Like a broken tooth. Lower the light. Okay. So this is burned. We're gonna change that one. And let's take, I think it was the first one. This is number 10, 10 amp fuse, I mean. It's also burned. You could confirm with the ohm meter. I'm not gonna do this right now, but I'm gonna change this fuse and you're gonna see the difference. Okay. So these two are burned. Okay, here is the 20 amps, the good one. Trying to make this as visible as possible. So it's very hard to have it on the camera. Anyway, you can see it this way. Alright, so anyway, this is good. That's a new fuse. I'm gonna throw it in here and do the test again. And this is the 10 amp. I'm gonna throw it in the first slot here. Okay. So we're gonna go back with the test light. If you remember, 1, 2, 3. Remember, this didn't have any power. Now it has power. And now it has power on both sides. Okay. And go back to the first one here. Power. Power on both sides. Again, power. And power on both sides. So that's, here's this one, power and power. And you know what, let me do I'm gonna show you on a voltmeter and the ohm meter how these fuses are open. I'm gonna compare the bad one to a good one. Alright, so this is let me do ohms. Okay, so here is the 20 amp. I'm gonna put it here and see if we could get any reading. Open. Again here. This is open. Let's get a good one. And let's read here. You see that? This is a good fuse. 0 ohm. Again, for the bad one, you could see same thing we did here. Open circuit. So if I touched mine, it says close, and you touch the fuse on the other side of the fuse, nothing. It's open. Okay, so this is how we check a fuse. Quick way to check it without pulling one by one. I'm gonna show you on my drawing what was happening here. Okay, as you can see, this is the fuse right here. So the reason I turned the switch on, because this is the positive right here. Turn the switch on, so I give it power, so I'm able to test it. So if you test anywhere here with a test light, if you test anywhere here, this is power. So you close this, you turn the switch on, you close the circuit. There's power everywhere here. Keep your own power. So the fuse open, you're gonna have no power here to the load, whether it's a light or it's a radio, signal, whatever is this load is, it needs to have power. So the fuse, if there is a short anywhere in this area here, this is if it gets shorted, the fuse will open. So that's when I was doing the test. I was testing here and I was testing here. So very much this is the fuse. I was testing the fuse on this side and on this side. So the fuse open. I'm gonna bring a big fuse so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is a bigger fuse. You can see how this is closed circuit here, right here. Okay. So again, power, keep going. There is power everywhere, all the way here. The power changes here a little bit. It might give you 12 volt, maybe a couple volts less, maybe point something less, because this is on the negative side. But I don't want to get technical here. I'm just showing you that this is why when the fuse opens here, the power gets cut in this area. So that's why you get power here, you don't get power here. So you know that fuse is burnt. Okay? So if there is no power at all coming to the fuse, you might get a ground here, you might get nothing. That means the fuse is still, most likely, it's good to fuse. All right, but you check it again. But that's a quick tip how I do it fast, and it's working for many years. I have no issues. It all was working. And again, I'm reminding you to use high impedance test light only for low current. This will allow only low current to go through that. Let's say this is a wire. It allows only low current to go through it. Okay, and you could use voltmeter as the safest one, voltmeter. But with the light, especially if under the car, you don't want to keep looking right and left. You could just focus on this area here, and you know when you do this will give you an indication of what's going on here. This is very much how I do it. Just quick tip how to do a fuse test on any vehicle. Very much. Hope I didn't forget anything, but that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.